you.
Peace, Black Dot in the building. You know how we do.
Okay, man. Hey, let me ask you a couple of questions, brother. How did you ever come in touch with the House of Consciousness and what it has done for you?
Well, basically walking up and down 125th Street, where most of the people are doing dead things, the House of Consciousness is a vortex here for information. So only those who are initiated into that type of information don't even come through. So, you know, one thing leads to another, and we began to link up and do other things to do what we do to awaken the people.
All right, well, my brother, I went online and I seen some of your information as well. What are some of the things that you do that's out there?
I wrote a book called Hip Hop Decoded, from its ancient origins to its modern day matrix. And you can go to my website, www.matrixofhiphop.com. Also, hit me up on MySpace /Hip Hop Decoded. I got about 15 DVDs touring the country. Me, Professor Griff, Sarnetta, I See the Duke of Tears, A.A. Rashid, Young Rich. The list goes on and on.
Bobby Hemmitt, Phil Valentine. Okay, so Hip Hop Decoded actually breaks down the hip hop industry.
The hip hop industry, and it also tells these brothers that we are metaphysical beings. We are conscious beings, and you can use that hip hop for more than just what it is, which is today is called shit hop.
Okay, thank you, Brother Dot, for being the House of Consciousness supporter for all these years. Thank you, brother.
No problem.
Hey, my brother, how you doing, man?
I'm doing real good, man.
Where you from, man?
I'm from UK London, straight out of
UK
London.
London?
That's right.
Is the House of Consciousness out there in UK London?
That's right. We got
How did they get exposed to that information, brother?
Well, brother, we picked up a few underground DVDs. Somebody come back from the States, and then it spread around like a virus, bro.
Okay. What have the House of Consciousness done for you, brother?
Well, it's helped in my process of elevation, not just myself, but my family members and key people that I roll with, you know?
Okay. One more question I forgot to ask you. Have you ever heard of the Soul Brothers Boutique?
Of course.
Okay, what is the Soul Brothers
Boutique? Was a classic spot where we would pack up in there like sardines to get that information. If you didn't get there early, that was your ass.
And they got the shirts and information?
All the shirts, all the conscious, because it's a different medium of the same consciousness, because images and pictures are worth 1,000 words. So what Jack and Soul Brothers is doing was putting up these conscious images that was awakening brothers and sisters at the same time.
Beautiful.
So it was crazy. So I was getting there early.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add on what you're doing out there in the UK?
Basically, I'm part of an organization called Ancient Future. What we do is bring over key speakers from the States, Cuba, wherever you're at, wherever you're spitting knowledge, information that helps in our process of elevation. We're interested in you. You can get in contact with us at www.ancientfuture.org.uk or email us at info@ancientfuture.org.uk.
Beautiful, brother. You got my information.
That's right.
I got your information.
Sure.
And we're going to stay in touch with our people
All day.
Give me one Black Power, Black man. Black Power.
Black Power.
There you go. Soul Brothers Boutique.
Yes, I have.
All right. Tell me something about the Soul Brothers Boutique.
I actually used to go to the Soul Brothers and check out some of their t-shirts and their work before I used to come out here.
Okay, you recognize the brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and the brother used to build all the time. Used to go on this.
Beautiful, beautiful, brother. What about the House of Consciousness? How you came in touch with the House of Consciousness and what it has done for you?
Now this is real talk. You want to know how I really came to the house?
Yes, sir.
The House of Consciousness. Bloods down in Camden, New Jersey.
Wow. Okay.
Them same niggas that be on the corner hustling.
That's right.
Alright? That's how I got House of Consciousness. And I just didn't know that a lot of these cats was up in New York all the time. Right. I had no idea. So I heard of Sonetta on the street corners from the drug dealers before I heard Sonetta from the conscious community. How about that?
Right. That's
how
good.
about that?
That's hot.
And what has it done for me? I love it. It's dope. And that doesn't say what it's done for me, but it does say what it's done for me.
Right. Thank you, my brother, for being a supporter of the House of Consciousness. Respect and love. We love our people, man.
Black Power family, this is Brother Jack, aka the Willie Lynch Killer, aka Sute. I'm the founder of Soul Brothers Boutique, which is the home of the Mandingo Warriors clothing line. We formed this clothing line because we got tired of seeing our brothers and sisters walking around in FUBU and Hill Figure, representing cultures that don't represent them. So we put together a clothing line that represents our culture, our history, and tells our story, something that our brothers and sisters can wear and be proud of. You understand what I'm saying? Because you wearing Sean John, FUBU, Rockaway, cats don't care about you. They want to keep you in that Willie Lynch mentality. So we're putting out a clothing line that you can not only wear and feel proud about, but you can educate your brothers and sisters and your children at the same time, wearing our clothes. We got the DVDs over here for Brother Sonetta at the House of Consciousness. You can come visit us at www.soulbrothers128.com and also at houseofconsciousness.com. Consciousness spelled with a K.
All right, brother. Can you hold up a few of the shirts?
Absolutely.
Oh, matter of fact, let me see. I can zoom in where you ain't got to explain to me about this one right here, though, brother.
Yeah, brother. You know what happened? When an Italian comes to America, he stays an Italian. When a German comes to America, he's a German. You understand? When an African comes here, he's turned into a Negro. So we're trying to get you back from being a Negro back to being an African. You understand what I'm saying? We're saying here, enough of the Negro stuff. Get out of your cotton picking mind. In other words, get rid of that slave mentality. In other words, deactivate that Willie Lynch.
All right, here's another one I would like for you to break down where it says First Blood. What is that about, brother?
First Blood, brother. We call it property of nobody. First Blood. These are our ancestors here who was quote unquote freed by the Emancipation Proclamation. You understand what I'm saying? So we telling you, these are your people right here. You understand what I'm saying?
Now I have one more question, brother.
Yes, sir.
If I wanted to remember my grandmother and I bring you a picture of my grandmother, can you make that, blow that up and put it on the shirt as well?
We do all custom printing, digital heat transfer, as well as silk screen. So you can contact us at www.soulbrothers128.com and www.houseofconsciousness.com. Consciousness spelled with a K.
All right. Okay, so you know what I would like to do today, brother?
What's that?
I would like to give you a donation that is in my pocket for the great work that you are doing.
Thank you,
and
brother.
maybe that can inspire other people to, give a nice, honest donation.
Absolutely.
Peace and Black Power.
Peace, Black Power.
Everything's good, brother.
Brother Rich, let me ask you a couple of questions, brother. The House of Consciousness. How did you get exposed to the House of Consciousness?
How did I get exposed?
Yes, sir. And what it has done for you, personally?
It's done a lot for me, man. I got exposed to Brother Big Man who used to be down the street.
Okay.
He told me there was another brother down here named Sonetta, so that's when I came check you. First tape I got from you was Bobby Hemmitt, Yeah.
So what has this information done for you, brother, since then?
This information this is like medicine. This is food right here. This is real food. Shit you get at McDonald's ain't real. This is the real food.
Hold that up. Let me see that. Let the people see what you're talking about.
It's Dr. Nalani and Brother Phil Valentine.
Oh, okay.
Teaching you about health, man.
Okay.
What's up, man?
Brother Azazel, man. What's going on, man?
Praise the motherfucking Lord.
All right.
Motherfucking hallelujah.
What I'm doing, brother, is a commercial for you. I want to give you the opportunity to talk about the House of Consciousness and what it has done to the people.
Yeah, I can give props to House of Consciousness. The young brother, Sarnetta, I met in front of the Dempsey. Brother's doing good work, as well as Brother Rich, Dot, and all the rest of the brothers.
Okay.
House of Consciousness, putting out a lot of good Afrocentric information as well as metaphysical.
And militant.
Yeah, brother.
Well, now, I also got to give props to you because, like I said, it was you and Brother Big Man who introduced me to this information and to the knowledge. This is Brother Azazel, and we doing this commercial so y'all know where the brother at. He's right down here in front of the juice bar.
Right, but what I want to say also, you want to come and get not just the videotapes that I'm selling. Number one, I want to give another shout out to Brother C. Freeman, who is my master teacher.
Right.
Props. And light a white candle, put his name on it, and you'll see some serious energy because now we have somebody that's associated with us on the astral plane that's working for us. But I want to give some props to some of the jewelry, like this here. We got crystals and turquoise. These are rare green turquoise and other kind of jewelry, and orgone. So if you know anything about magnetism and the energies and stuff like that, you want to definitely check out the orgone energy, the pyramids and the whole nine.
Beautiful. Right? Thank you, brother.
In Black Power family, my name is Brother Sonetta. For those of y'all who don't know, I represent the House of Consciousness. In fact, I am the founder of House of Consciousness, the largest archive in the history of our time right now. Okay? What we do out here is give information and inspiration to our people all over the world. The House of Consciousness information, our information, is all over the world, brothers and sisters. And you can reach me at 212-862-9700. 178. If you come to see me and want to come out to visit us, the House of Consciousness, we do live lectures here on the street of 125th Street, right across the street from the Apollo Theater. Show the theater, brother, just in case those are out of town. Come on over here, walk on over here, brother. Walk on over here with me. Walk on over here where you can see the sign, the Apollo Theater. Okay. This is where we at. We don't only have DVDs and consciousness of information, we also have books. We also have conscious shirts. And Brother Jack is gonna explain to you what we have. The Soul Brothers Boutique, we have the lynching pictures. So you can reach us at thehouseofconsciousness.com. That is www.houseofconsciousness.com. Peace and Black Power.
Give me you got a 3X.
Okay, Azazel, you
I
on.
got the 6.
Huh?
I got a 6X.
That's too big.
No, you try it on. You roll it?
You got
Yeah.
what you got? This what you got? 3X.
I got 4, 5, and 6.
I'm about a 4X.
Well, this is 6.
Oh, okay. Okay, give me a 6 then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
You try it on.
Try it on, yeah, okay, yeah.
I just got a whole batch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all banded there? That's
One of the Zarabanders. Win over your enemies.
okay.
Yeah.
You on, Azazel.
All right, we're here
At the House of Consciousness.
at the House of Consciousness with Brother Sonetta and a couple other brothers. What's your name, brother? Darren. My beautiful queen, Jade, Brother Black Dizot, and my man Bobby Hemmitt. And we're going to be building on some science here today. But first thing I want to say is I want to give a shout out to my brother who's in the orgasmic state, Brother C. Freeman, who just passed away, who is my personal master teacher. And he has a great body of work, so we want to definitely honor him. I'm going to ashe him
I say.
All right.
to Brother C. Freeman.
And I want to know, can I get another 40 tomorrow somewhere?
Yeah, you can get.
Somewhere
Yeah,
I
you
should
can get
open
that
this
from
40 tonight.
Yeah. And then,
This is C. Freeman L's drink. He used to drink a 6-pack of this Old English, and we didn't know that it was a master. That it was a master. It was a master stroke. It's called the Drunken Master. The master never comes wearing the tie and the long robe and all that kind of thing. Now those most of the time is the decoys. The master sometimes come, you might think this nigga crazy. But that's the Drunken Master. But anyway, he used to drink this. Now the Brother Tef explained to Brother Panic that the 800 was the year that the Moors took over in Europe. They invaded in the 700, but they came to power in the 800s. So this is the Moorish thing on why he used to do it. Now we just did a memorial with him last Sunday, and I was telling him about the Old English, and then he came through and whispered in my ear and said, "No, I chose the Old English based on the burgundy that goes along with the fez. The burgundy in the sign that goes along with the burgundy fez." So.
and it's not the New English motherfuckers. It's the old.
It's the Old English. The Old English. That's the Moors and stuff. There's a book called Black Ancient and Modern Brits, Black Brits or something like that. And so we're gonna I'm just gonna pull a little thing, and anybody else want to get into some of this, we're gonna give a little shout out. If we was outside, the brothers on the West Coast and in the LA gangs, they used to pull it around, for the brothers who ain't here. Now what told them brothers to do that kind of thing if that wasn't coming from the genetic memory bank? So I just wanted to say that.
Right. But C. Freeman Hell had a great body of work. He did, I don't know how many tapes, maybe 36 tapes on astrology alone. I mean, I stay up all night. Sometimes I fall asleep with that brother on. Very easy to listen to. I mean, he had tapes on the Moorish nationality. This brother had extensive work, which Bobby is pretty much in that category too with his work also. Who we're here to introduce right now, Brother Bobby Hemmitt.
Yeah.
Yes,
and to piggyback off of that with Brother C. Freeman L., I started lecturing in the summer. I think it was June 17th, 1992. By the end of '92, we had all come to the conclusion, a lot of brothers, that we needed to get into some meditation and different stuff. And I was like, damn. I was like, man, I was hitting. I said, yeah, we're gonna have to go there. And that was the end. That was right before Christmas. And then right after Christmas, this tall man started teaching down in Atlanta meditation and all other types of science. So what it is me and my two other brothers and our other hosts, we were some of the first students that got into science and dealt with the meditation and the other things he brought forth. I want to say this because, and I'm going to reiterate some of this tomorrow when we put the picture up and we're going to do a little celebration for him. But what happened with him, he made the transition about 2 weeks ago. Now it's interesting here, he went into a coma about 4 days before he made the transition. Luckily we was able to get in touch with him like the day after he went into the coma. And he made it be known based on his knowledge of the spirit realm that he was able to navigate himself straight to the top in the master realm. So he said, I'm happy, I'm in Command Central, I'm actually where I'm supposed to be. You see, based on me training for this all my life. So in so many words, he had prepared to go to this world stage. You see what I'm saying? And so now he's like I say, now he's the star player.
Right.
So he's in that particular realm. We're going to go into a little bit of insights on him tomorrow and do a little ceremony to put it on the tape also so it can go around the country.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the day that I found out that he passed, the sister Delbert down in Georgia sent me a great body of his work, at least 20 of his tapes. She sent me, and I got them the same exact day. And then I pressed my message machine, and somebody said, "Oh, Brother C from L had passed away."
Yeah.
But what I also want to say is that if you get yourself a 7-day candle, and light that put his name on the candle and light that 7-day candle for Brother C Freeman L in honor of him. And we did this, and it's been just awesome, powerful, like a sweet energy flowing through the whole house. Besides the organs, because that's a powerful energy too. But definitely the C from L candle just put a positive energy all over the place. Just a lot of positive.
And I want to add on to that because I fell in love with Bobby's work via Azazel, and then I became interested in where was he getting some of his information from.
Right.
And this brother's voice, this brother's presence, I've heard Moores teach before, but not the way C. Freeman L. teaches.
Teacher, right?
He is literally a master teacher, and everyone else with children.
And Bobby, break down the funeral procession and all that for us.
As far as
what you told us earlier about the funeral, because that just brought joy to my heart when I especially.
Yeah, what we did was, well, several things happened. One thing was we was trying to get to try to find a key place. There was some black people that opened up a church down in Atlanta called the First African Presbyterian Church. So basically, these were some Presbyterian people, and they just decided, hey, we're gonna take this thing and we're gonna be in this thing. We're gonna make it Africanized. So they Africanized the church. You know what I'm saying? They got arms, they got all kind of pictures, they got all kind of stuff like that. You know. And so what happened was, they actually, after their service, they told us to come back at 3 and they gave us the actual church. So there was about 25 people that showed up, and all the people that showed up was his students. And everybody, and each one started reminiscing on the several things, how he affected their lives and stuff like that. But his spirit actually came through, because it got to the point where as we didn't want to leave. You were just sitting around and we didn't want to leave, and it was real powerful. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, he really got a serious going away. And I could tell.
You get to speak at the church?
Yeah, we all did. Everybody, see what it was, we just sat around, it was informal, and everybody came and just did their testimony on their experiences with him. And come to find out that there was about, me and my two brothers were the only ones that was there from the first class. You see what I'm saying? Because we had a big first class and then they had an advanced class, but the other ones was the ones that was there from first class was like 93, so the other ones got to know him in the mid to late 90s, and they was all standing up giving testimonies how he cursed them out, how he went off on all of them. So they was asking, they wanted to know, did he go off on me like that? And I told them no, we was of the first class, so it was a whole different thing that was going down. But I told him how me and C. Freeman L, and this is ironic, me and C. Freeman L set up an office. Our office was in front of Starbucks downtown Atlanta in the Equitable building, and people used to come by and stuff, and they would come by if they wanted to get in contact with us. They would come to the Starbucks, and we sat out there for a year, swapping information and doing things. And at the end of that year, Professor John Henry Clark died. Now that was 10 years ago, 1998. Kwame Ture died. Now this is the most eerie thing. Also, C. Freeman wanted to make he was writing a book on the astrology and the Bible and showing how that whole Bible thing was an astrology book. He said, I said, well, what's taking you so long? He said he wanted about 600 pages so niggas won't bootleg it. I said, well, you must don't know the niggas from New York. So he said, no, but they might. He said, but you know, around the country they'll be discouraged to bootleg a book that's 600 pages. This was his thing. Right. But anyway, that was one of the things. But this is the eerie thing. The day he died, a book came out in Barnes and Nobles called. That he never finished his book. It was called The Gospel of the Zodiac. And it's about the same thing. They go through each chapter in the Bible and show you where it's Venus, Mars, Jupiter, you know, Sagittarius, Virgo, and they break the stuff down. The same thing he was doing. And the day he died, I said, whatever it was, somebody spiritually finished the book for him. Now, one of the other key books that came out the day he died, one of his main books he used to teach on was called the Kabbalion.
Yeah.
Now the Kabbalion, as you know, is the book where they took one of the 7 Hermetic laws and made the secret from. Right. You see, from the Kabbalion. And everybody's going crazy on the secret. That was C. Freeman's book, the Kabbalion. And all his students, that's the book he would tell them to get the Hermetic laws, the Kabbalion by the 3 initiates. Now this is interesting here because I want to show you this, because the day he died, the day he made the transition, this book comes out called The Secret Source. Now, and this book says the law of attraction is just one of the 7 Hermetic laws. That's what the sequence is about. Here's the other 7. No, here's the other 6. And it's called The Secret Source, and this is a whole book that has a complete Kabbalion in it. And it goes into the missions of Tahuti and all of the other stuff. And this came out also the day that he made the transition. Wow. So it just shows you that everything that we're dealing with is connected in some kind of way. It's not just random, and it's not that everything is in divine order. It's in divine order. And it's ironic that we lost one of the historical masters 10 years ago, 2008. We lost the metaphysical master at this particular time, 10 years ago, 1998. The historian and the revolutionary Kwame Ture, John Henry Clark, and this year he transcended on this year one of the metaphysical masters in 2008, and he said something about he had to go on the 8. That's the 800. He said something about the metaphysical, the 8, which is infinity. Right. And he was the one that always used to talk about the 8. C. Freeman would talk about the 8, and he would always link it to Elijah Muhammad. He said that's why Elijah Muhammad wore the bow tie. Number 8. The bow tie is the number 8, infinity. And it's also called the bow star, which is the star Sirius. And the 3 stars is in the middle of the Orion's belt. So he used to break down that type of stuff. You see what I'm saying? So we have a major master that ascended, and that means we got to go back and study the whole Kung Fu movies and the sensei thing. When the master ascends, the master doesn't ascend, the master actually goes to the throne. So in so many words, we got that kind of power we rolling with now.
Yeah, that's what that's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you send a senator to Washington, D.C., you see what I'm saying, for whatever your district is. Well, it's the same thing in this particular heaven realm. And in this particular case, we're not just talking about just some minor heaven realm. He said that he's at the highest level amongst the masters.
We just got stronger.
We just got stronger. That's the whole thing what Obi-Wan Kenobi said. Yeah. If you take me out, I'm only going to get stronger. And then what happened? Obi-Wan Kenobi was able to direct Luke Skywalker from the other realm. You see, other realm. Which also goes back to this. He smoked cigarettes. And he drank.
That's what I wanted to do. Light a cigarette for him.
Yeah, and he drank the Old English. He drank the Old English, and all. And what it was, and I used to introduce people, and he'd be chain smoking, and they'd be like, "You call this a master?" And whatever. I'm saying, when the master come, you never gonna recognize it. The same thing happened with Yoda. Yoda was a little old runt living in a shithole eating stew, and as a result, Luke Skywalker treated him with a heavy hand when he first met him. And then he told him, "I can't teach him. He's too old," you know, and different stuff like that. But the point I'm trying to make here, the master never comes in the way you think. And that's the first thing, and it's ironic we saying this that he passed, because that's one thing that John Henry Clark used to say. John Henry Clark said that the African way of the real leader, or the African way of it's a cigarette, yeah. He would say the African way of the real leader, or the real revolutionary, is you never, we spoke in this cigarette for C. Freeman L. Is you never see the real leader or the real revolutionary or the real master. You might meet several decoys. And the real master, whenever you see the real master, he's not going to be anything like you think it is. And that's the way C. Freeman L. was. You know, and obviously, and I didn't realize that the students, there was 25 students up in there, and he had cursed all them out, except, and even I heard he even cussed Shabazz out when he came up here the last time, because Shabazz had a speaker on before him that he didn't agree. But when you think about it and all, that's a master type stroke that went down. So,
all right, so that cigarette that's in the ashtray is for
Brother C. Freeman L.
So this book is called The Secret Sauce. This book is called The Secret Sauce, which is basically the Kabbalion. It's a new version of the Kabbalion with extra stuff. So this is the one to get.
Where can we get that, Bobby?
I got it from Barnes and Nobles.
Okay.
But I'm also urging people to go out and get the Gospel of the Zodiac, because you honor him. Because his thing was, if you're gonna get our people, you're gonna have to go through the Bible. That was his thing. Yeah. He said, I done read the Book of the Dead, I done read a lot of these things. He said, but if you're going to really, not the conscious people, right? But if you're going to effectively get the other ones, you're going to have to go through the Bible. That's why Ray Hagen is successful. This man is getting big audiences.
That's right.
Outside of the conscious community. Most of the people that's coming is not even part of the conscious community. That's so my point here is there's a way to bridge the gap. And that's why tomorrow I'm going to go into the metaphysics of the Bible, on some new information and new stuff I got too. I'm going to go on also to some more stuff. Now this is the interesting thing. I did a lecture at the Moorish Science Temple in Chicago under Noble Drew Ali, and about 2 weeks later he passed, and everything is connected. And when I was there, I told him that my mother made it. Now the last time I came here in June of 2006,
it is. My
mother made the transition 4 days after I came, but I talked about her in the lecture. People were like, "Dang, you was talking about your mama in the lecture," because she died on June the 20th.
Like you was paying homage, right?
Right. I eulogized her. Now this is the funny part about that. Not only that, what happened is this. When I was at the Moorish Science Temple, they all came and they said, "We heard you on the tape, and you mentioned that your mother died or made the transition on July the 20th, 2006. They said that Noble Drew Ali died on July the 20th, 1929. Wow. And I said, well, it's interesting because 30 years to that day, Bruce Lee died on July the 20th, 1973. And it's ironic because Bruce Lee came to Panic and told him, look, I'm a god now. And I want to be recognized as a god. And I'm like, well, here it is again. About like the whole thing that went down with C. Freeman L. You master certain things, and when you go on a high level. Another full-fledged god at this particular time is Jimi Hendrix. And we're just waiting to see what's going to happen to James Brown. Because here's a man, they say, that changed time on the planet Earth.
Yes.
So you know that's a god. You see, he changed time on the planet Earth. You see what I'm saying? So in so many words, we're seeing a lot of entertainers go, a lot of masters is leaving. And your entertainers are your angels, they're your gods. You see what I'm saying? Leaving. Another thing we want to give a shout out is to brother Asa Hilliard. Asa Hilliard made the transition, but let me tell you about Asa Hilliard. Asa Hilliard was one of the pioneers into the Afrocentric movement. They came about in 1985 with the ASCAC thing, and they started putting this stuff together. These were school teachers who didn't have this to do, and they was like, hey, this stuff is African, and they brought us back to Egypt and Kemet. And Asa Hilliard was one of the pioneers. So that's a major thing that went down, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow. Barack Obama is the one that brought his body back to the States.
Wow.
And Asa Hilliard was a form of Anubis. I'm going to go into the whole thing what happened. And that energy was transferred to a new Anubis type of character with the Barack Obama thing that is going down. So what I'm trying to say here is this also. Down here we can argue about people's politics. You know what I'm saying? What they do with white folks, what they do with this, is he the boule, but you got to realize, in order for them to be the white man can't use nobody who ain't a higher spirit. So my point here is, a lot of these ones down here, when you get down on the planet Earth, you can get in all kind of trouble in politics and stuff like that, but these be gods. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, Quincy Jones, that's a god. Now people might argue that he married all these white women and all this kind of thing here. Quincy Jones is a god. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta look at, sometimes we gotta get past a person's politics and see what kind of energy that is going down with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let me ask you a question. With Obama, since you said he brought Asa Hilliard's, body back,
yeah.
A lot of times before he can be appointed to a certain high office, as a part of a ritual, like Jesse Jackson got a knockoff with Dr. King,
right, yeah.
or this one got a knockoff.
Right, yeah.
One. So I'm not suggesting that he was involved with.
No, I think it wasn't about the death. What it was is it was a boule move, I think.
Okay.
Because we was asking, what does Barack Obama have to do with Asa Hilliard? But Asa Hilliard was in the boule. Mm. You understand what I'm saying? Now, like I said, despite their politics, people do stuff to survive on the planet Earth. They make deals all the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about a certain energy and stuff. They talk about a certain energy. He taught mass amount of people the stuff on Kemet. Now, so it might have been a boule move, but nevertheless, in the spirit world, they were saying, well, you do what you want to line up stuff down there and whatever type stuff. That's the arena you in. You see what I'm saying? That's the arena you in. Well, if you running for president and stuff, you a senator. You got to be in that's the arena that you chose. You see what I'm saying? But on the other hand, we saying there's some spiritual stuff to this stuff too. And that's the point and stuff. And we seeing the spiritual stuff that's going on now. Yeah. This man is rock shocking the house to the point that they trying to come at him with both barrels. They done found another preacher that they say another preacher they say that is hooked up with him. They try to connect him with some terrorist guy. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. But when they come after you like that, obviously there's something you doing that they didn't mean for it to happen, and some shit done got out of hand. But we, these days we rolling on that level.
Middle of the chessboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who do you think is going to win the actual election?
Well, the day that the Jeremiah thing dropped, which was his preacher, the Clinton campaign, high officials in the Clinton campaign admitted that there's no way she can win. Because between the time of the last primary, which is in June, which is in June, he pulled such ahead in the delegates that he got till she won't be able to catch up. There's no way she can catch up. The only way she could have caught up was they was hoping that they could get Florida and Michigan to recount because they just was disqualified, and that would have put her close. But Florida and Michigan the other day was like, no, we can't do it. So what it is they said that there's no way she can win. So they said, well, what we can do, we could just give it to her, as white people do. But then they found out this. They said, no, you got to realize, we got mass black people that's been with Democrats since I guess the New Deal, which is Roosevelt. Or even, you know what I'm saying, they've been Democrats for over close to 70 years. Or going on 70 years. They say, if we do this time, because we didn't count their votes in 2000 with the Bush thing. They said, if we do this time, we're going to have the entire black part of the Democratic Party walk out. And we not going to chance that with this Clinton bitch that we don't like no way. You see what I'm saying? That we don't like no way. So what the deal here is, they're saying he's going to at least get the Democratic nomination. So as a result, they put out the Jeremiah thing so that they could hurt him for the McCain thing. And this is the mystery. The McCain getting ready to croak. China has already sent a message and saying they was watching it and stuff. Most people from indigenous cultures can look at a person and tell when a person gonna die.
Yeah, I can look at him.
So when I saw him 2 months ago, I said, this man is getting ready to croak. He looked sick. He looked like them cats with ain't got no hair. You know them ones or whatever? Mrs. Bigglesworth or whatever that one that's on what's your boy? The International Man of Mystery guy. You know the guy Mike Myers thing.
Jason.
Huh?
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers did the International Man of Mystery, Gold Member and all those movies. I can't think of the guy it was. But anyway, he got one of the villains got that little cat that ain't got no hair on him. That's what this man looks like, and so the indigenous culture. When China said, "Why would you run a sick candidate?" and they checking his health, but this cat is gonna
He
croak.
look messed up.
This guy's gonna croak.
Talk to you, the stuff he's saying.
Right, and they had to cut a whole bunch of melanoma off the side of his head.
On the side of his head.
You see what I'm saying? Wife done had a heart attack. They said he done had 2.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff that's going on.
Now, Bobby, I was watching Pluto Nash the other night, and I saw that the money had Hillary on it.
Well, see, this is the deal. See, as far as what they said that the Bilderbergers chose her just like they chose her father in Baden-Baden, her husband in Baden-Baden, Germany in 1990.
Yeah.
Bill. They chose her this summer. That's remember your boys Alex Jones was outside the hotel in Canada, and they had to bring her in through the what's called. They had saw all these people, but they brought Hillary in through the actual driveway. So they was expecting Hillary to be the inevitable candidate. So they decided, look, well, Barack Obama when he was up there with all the rest of them members, they say it's cute. You see what I'm saying? And they didn't expect that the people would go crazy off of the change thing. Well, see, melanin, okay, he has this Anubis energy. Now, melanin, they say melanin, and that's in your boy's book, talks about that, one of the masters of melanin, Richard King. Melanin is chaos. Chaos in the blood. And the chaos is a primordial substance that existed before this particular solar system was formed. That's what we have in us, and that's what melanin ultimately is. It's also death. Melanin is also death. If you understand what, and death is just something from another dimension outside of this matrix. Okay. Chaos, they say in the book Condensed Chaos by Phil Hines. He got one called Prime Chaos and Condensed Chaos, Chaos Magic by Phil Hines. They say chaos, the laws of chaos is change is supreme. And this man is running a campaign talking about change. And he was saying it so much until the other candidates, for Nick Romney and the rest of them, Republicans, everybody was saying change, even Hillary at one time.
What's that phrase? Nothing stays the same except change.
Change, right. So he was invoking this thing, and it's a whole lot of power behind it. Anubis is a black dog, which is chaos, the black and the melanin, the black and the gold. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff. So this is some things. So my point here is, now, that's the strategy here is, McCain gonna croak. But we still don't know these white boys when it come down to voting polls and electronic voting. And if you get that, you need to get the movie Man of the Year with Robin Williams. And he was a comedian, like a talk show host like Johnny Carson, and ran for president on a fluke. And the damn electronic polls had him win the voting booth. And this girl, Laura Linney, the white girl on there, saw it and recognized the discrepancy, and before she could even say anything about it, they broke her apart now and shot her up with 11 or 12 different types of drugs in her nervous system. And when she went to the hospital, they said you got everything from cocaine, heroin, ice, whatever. She had it all up in her crack. And so what happened was, after the hospital reported it, that's how they discredited her. So nothing that she would ever say. So she wouldn't be the whistleblower. All this is in the movie now. And the movie came out, you see what I'm saying? And it's got him on, see, they got Robin Williams on the front of the cover with a George Washington wig on. And that's to throw you off. Another movie you need to go see, a hell of a melanin movie. And I missed it. And the other night, I watched it when the tornado came through. The Shaggy Dog with Tim Allen. Straight up everything about our melanin. And how they use the Shaggy Dog. Remember it was the Shaggy DA that came out, a Disney flick years ago. This is the new version, and it's all about a dog from Tibet that was 300 years old, and they was trying to isolate his melanin gene so that they can have longevity and stuff. It was all based on us.
Bob, you got to go see the movie Sublime. You seen that one?
I saw it. I got it on DVD.
That's crazy.
Did you see the DVD?
Man. No, I didn't see the extras yet.
You got to see the DVD, the extra. You got to click on the actual director's cut. And they tell you, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, they said, we was trying to get the Nation of Islam look. He was supposed to be Malcolm X.
Yeah, yep.
They said,
what's the name of this movie?
It's called Sublime.
When it came out?
It came out 2 years ago, or a year ago. Now, check this out.
Yeah.
The other part they said, that the guy that was going through all the stuff, they said that was George Bush.
On the extras.
Yeah, they said that was George Bush, means that he was one of these guys that couldn't believe in the spirit stuff, and he feared the black man. And they put all that on in the thing. They say, we wanted, because when he jumped on his chest, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs said, I am the father of the sand nigger. Because you at war with the sand nigger. He said, I am the father of the sand nigger. Yep. And they said that they wanted to get they put the bow tie on, they wanted to get the Nation of Islam flag. But he said, because that's what the white man fears. They fear Farrakhan and the nation, or that type of thing. You see what I'm saying?
Bobby, tell us what the movie was all about.
It's a movie about this guy goes into a coma. But he's doing the movie, he's thinking he's in the hospital and he's thinking all the stuff is real. You see what I'm saying? But in actuality, it's playing out in his head. Because what happened, he just went for a routine operation and they gave him something that he was allergic to, and it took him into a coma. So the whole movie is acting out when he's in this particular coma, and they start dealing with his fears, the fear of the black man, the fear of this, the fear of that. It's amazing.
It was almost like the black man ruled the spirit realm.
Right.
He was cutting them up, chopping them up from this, just tearing them up from the spirit
And what
realm.
it was is the black man was in there beating them crackers to death.
Yep.
The ones that was in the coma was like saying,
that was a great
I got your ass now.
Yep.
You fucked me in the physical world. I'm in here, I'm ruling this shit. And he was in there, he was beating one white guy, and the white guy was Harlem. He was beating him over the hospital bed. On top of him beating him.
He said, y'all think y'all rule everything? Goddamn it, you in the spirit world now.
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah. Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, Cooley High.
Yep.
And the guy said, the director said, this guy's an excellent actor. I wonder why Hollywood shut him out. They said they picked him for that. So it's called Sublime, but you got to get the Sublime, you got to get the director's cut commentary. You can watch the movie and then just listen to the commentary on what the director in them saying. And they said that everything you think it is that's what it is. And he said in so many words, the guy up in there is not only George Bush, he is America itself, and they scared of the black man. Yeah. Now they attacked him on the internet.
Just like Malcolm X too. I didn't think about that. He looked just like Malcolm X.
They said the bow tie and all that shit was a Nation of Islam. They said, and to bring that fear. You know, they passed that around. Oh.
Sonetta got some better ringtone than that?
Some old salsa stuff. You done gone to El Segundo on our ass. Yeah. So
now, just recently in the news, I saw Bush. He came on the news and started buck dancing
Oh yeah,
Dancing.
yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that.
dancing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was over in Africa dancing.
Tell him what in the book there. What was said about what he did when Obama met him.
Oh yeah. Well, what happened was Obama had went over to the White House, and matter of fact, let me read that little.
Yeah, I saw it. He was like this on you know,
Yeah.
dancing like that. Buck
Yeah.
dancing.
But anyway, this is what it says here. Obama, George Bush said at the 2005 at the White House at the reception one day. He says what happened was he said to his wife Laura. He says, "Have you ever met Obama? Come here. I want you to meet Obama." Met Obama. George Bush shook Obama's hand, turned around, and it was an aide standing nearby, and he just threw like a glob of hand sanitizer in Bush's hand.
Who did? Obama?
No. What happened was
Oh, the aide
the
did.
aide did to the president's hand.
After he shook.
Exactly.
Obama's hand.
After he shook Obama's hand.
Right.
He
And
just
you, that
took
was an old thing in segregation.
Oh yeah.
You know, when I was working at the post office, when I was a student, I used to work at the post office as a casual. And right now when I see people go in the post office and shoot shit up, I understand what it is, because it's the mail run you crazy. It never stops coming if you work at one of the main ones. Mm-hmm. It's some crazy shit go on. So when I see the motherfuckers go postal, that's some real shit. But I worked there, so when I was in college, I worked there. And one of the guys said that in the segregation, what they used to do, he said they was in the cafeteria one day. This is during the Jim Crow time. And you know, he said it was in the cafeteria one day, and this was in the 60s. So they really hadn't really gotten up off the racism. They was going through the protest. He said, and one guy just got there, a black guy was in the cafeteria. He didn't know where the line drew, where the black people used to sit and the white people used to sit. And he said he sat in the chair. And they came and told him, you got to get up. That's your part. So he got up, and there was another white man that came up, and he just stood there like this, and with his tray. And there's we sorry. And they ran in and they fumigated, they deloused the shit, the chair, sprayed some stuff and all. So that's one of them things they used to do. And that's the same Jim Crow shit. So Bush did that. Yeah, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. You see, that's interesting that they would do that. Plus, you got to realize how they say stuff. You go get Nick Nolte in the movie Hotel Rwanda. When he told Nick Nolte said, told Don Cheadle, he said, "You worse than African American, you African. You the lowest." When he said some shit up in there, he said, "They ain't coming for you." He said, "Cause you African, you the lowest." Now, as far as Obama's concerned, they might say, well, hey, you know, he's not one of the niggas we fashioned, because he's directly aligned from Africa. You see what I'm saying? That might have something to do with the washing the hands. You see what I'm saying? With washing the hands, but it's some shit like that. You see. If
y'all ever seen the movie 1984?
Yeah.
George Orwell.
Yeah.
And it came to me when I watched that movie one time. I thought that, you know, why are they calling a white New World Order something Big Brother?
Yeah.
And then I thought about Obama. It came to my head at that same moment. And he would fit that criteria. I couldn't see a white boy being called Big Brother or a white boy government called Big Brother.
Well, whatever the deal is, now this is the other scenario. We have to put all these scenarios factoring in.
Yeah.
They saying that they can't really fix the country. The housing thing now, man, is gone. People are losing the housing. Now they bailed out that financial, whatever that thing was, they bailed out the other day. But they would.
You talking about Bear Stearns?
Yeah, Bear Stearns, but they wouldn't bail out the people in their houses. So they were saying the housing thing is gone, the gas thing is gone, and they might just be jumping ship and say, give it to the niggas and the Mexicans. Yeah. See what I'm saying? So it's just some stuff. I'm just trying to say, you got to play out all these scenarios on how this particular thing is actually working. How this actually working, because all the jobs are going overseas. And another thing too, remember they said that they done spent $3 trillion in Iraq? But yet, the soldiers over there can't even get bulletproof vests. They was raising money just to get the kind of bulletproof vest that the soldiers need, and they was like, where the money going? They saying all the money is going over Iraq because that's going to be one of the havens for rich elite white people. They've already turned Dubai.
Oh,
that's where Michael Jackson is from.
Africa, all those,
That Dubai, man, is a paradise.
Yeah.
And even one sister said, you know, she's saying that she's a hairdresser. She said she getting ready to go to Dubai. She'll be rich in a month just doing hair.
Just doing hair. That's right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? You know, so some stuff that's going on. This is another thing I want to say, because I might not say it tomorrow. They wanted to, over there, okay, the soldiers over in Iraq, they wanted to get on the Iraqi people's nerves. So what they would do around the camp, they would start playing Lionel Richie all day long.
Yeah, that'll get on your nerves.
That'll get on your nerves. And what happened was the spirit hit. The Iraqi people lost their mind over Lionel Richie, and they started buying it, and it became, Lionel Richie started making $7 million a day.
Yeah, he got real rich off that.
And as to the point, they say that they are establishing concerts for him to go over there. They said it'll be the first time in world history that a black man ever toured over there with a concert.
And wait, they said one of his songs has been dead for 20 years.
20 years. It's the old shit. It's not no new stuff. This is all the CS stuff. Come on and whatever that celebrate. Yeah.
That explains
all night long. All of that old shit from 1983.
Yeah. Shit
that album.
Shit that was dead in the water. Like, this shit ain't
they say that he making $7 million a day.
Wow.
Off just the tape sales of that.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's some amazing shit.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
All right, let's jump ship for a minute and talk about the weather. The weather. The other day I saw on CNN. Now, this lady was in a boat. I'm not talking about a rowboat. I'm talking about a big, nice size, look almost like a yacht.
Uh-huh.
The stingray jumped up out the water and knocked her upside her head, tapped her,
killed her.
We see all those floods over in Ohio.
Yeah,
flooding out
St. Louis, Missouri.
Flooding them all out. Georgia, you had 2 man-made tornadoes over there, man-made tornado in New York. How does that play a role in all of that?
Well, the expert now on the weather is Delbert Blair.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's Delbert Blair. I will say this about what I've been dealing with as far as my research on it, where I am. You can only do it to get a pattern of where you live. Now, we know now that down in Atlanta it will get hot, and about 2 days later they'll bring out the planes, they drop the chemtrails, and then it cools down. So they had to manufacture a winter season that no longer exists. It got to 80 degrees in January, this past January, and it got to 70-something degrees this past February. And what it is they're saying here is, if they didn't manufacture it with the planes and all this type of stuff here, it would be summer, year-round, in the southern hemisphere. So they have to manufacture that, because that means, so what happened here is, but why manufacture it? They say because if it's 80 and 90 degrees in January, February, in the deep winter months, then the people mind will unblock the mind control and go, hey, this is the end of the world. You see what I'm saying?
I was in the Bahamas about 2 weeks ago.
It was
hot as hell. Balls of hail came out the sky. People running around pointing at the ground. They had never seen it.
Well, I do know this. Last Friday, which is historical, they looped the Jeremiah Wright, Obama's preacher. They looped the 4 of the lectures together. Now the man got hundreds of lectures or hundreds of sermons. They take 4 and they looped them. They looped them, and they started around 11 o'clock playing them over and over, CNN and Fox, over and over. They looped it and they played it all that day until at 8:30. With all the goddamn America, it set up a mantra, and it's ironic to let you know that the answer, that it had something to do with that particular tornado came through Atlanta and hit the CNN center where the actual shit was playing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. I saw it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
So, You got to understand the science behind this. Number one, not only is it a black man, it's a black preacher. See, the only thing that's wrong with the preacher is probably, and not that preacher, he's cool. Most preachers got a lot of power, it's just that their theology is off. Mm-hmm. See, Khaled found that shit out the wrong way. Mm-hmm. Khaled was a master debater. He debated the white boys. He debated some people out at the University of Washington. And it was Khaled sitting on the side of the table. And he had 4 white boys on the other side of the table. And he debated their ass so good till 3 of the white boys came and sat beside Khaled on the side of the table. He was a master debater. Master debater. He eat white folks up. And intellectuals kill them. He made a mistake and debate this damn black preacher.
Pastor Chuck Singleton.
Yeah. And the black preacher, what he didn't realize, he's an ignorant nigga.
But what he didn't realize, he knew a lot about ancient Kemet and all that.
Right.
He went into the science of Kemet and all that.
This is a black man you debating. And although he might, whatever, his energy, man, is the same as yours. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the black man stuck it to Khaled's ass. Then he started joking and clowning and stuff. And start doing what they call the irrelevance.
Yes.
Which is a 7 liberal arts.
Did y'all see
you
that?
You can get a motherfucker off their game by saying some shit that totally ain't got nothing to do with it. And he mastered it and he beat Khaled's ass. You see what I'm saying? Now Khaled came back and said some stuff, but he is the master debater now. That debate white intellectuals and kill them. Because first of all, the white man always underestimates you. He gonna come, remember the one he did out in San Francisco? They came to the debate, ain't had no documentation. And Khaled came in there with a big ass box. You see? And he killed white folks. When he got down to the brother, he had a little trouble. Because he don't realize, I don't give a damn.
Same energy.
What? It's the same energy? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And you gotta realize, our people grow up, they call it joning up here. We call it giving hell in South Carolina. They call it playing the dozens when my mama was growing up. We masters of that stuff. It's showmanship.
That's right.
You see, we masters of that shit,
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I know a sister, she was bad. She could joan her ass off. They had a nigga named Buckwheat. And Buckwheat came out, and Buckwheat had noticed something. He was the best. And Buckwheat came out, and Buckwheat had noticed something. This was in high school, I was in high school. The sister was joning, and she was good. But Buckwheat came out and told the people that her damn daddy was riding around on a homemade motorcycle. Now let me tell you what happened. The daddy had the little Huffy, the little Huffy bikes with the little banana seat and the 60 bars. When Frank Stackhouse, who was one of my best friends, abandoned his bicycle, got too old for it, his daddy went and took the bicycle and put a motherfucking lawnmower motor on it. Him and another old ass man in their 50s, and they riding around on little bicycles with a lawnmower motor. And the thing about it, these niggas thought that they was like in a gang like the Hell's Angels. And so he was like, I said, I saw your daddy riding around with a homemade motorcycle, and she had to start running down the street. So my point here is even in our ignorance, we're masters of that shit.
There's a guy like that in New York that does that.
Right, we're masters at that shit.
When they say, argue the facts, and if you can't argue the facts, just argue.
Just argue.
Yeah.
We masters of that. I mastered the joning in high school until about the level. No, I mastered it in high school when I first got in the 9th grade. But what happened was the niggas got bigger. So a guy about 6'4" came up to me and say, I'm letting you know now. I know you got it and people is talking about you. You good at this shit. You giving hell with a lot of the seniors. I was in 9th grade. He said, but the day you give me hell, I'm going to go to your motherfucking ass. And I said I think I better quit this shit because this shit getting dangerous. You see, this shit getting dangerous. This 6'4" nigga, 250 pounds. So my point here is, but the point I'm trying to make here is, They masters of it and call it he didn't recognize that when he came up with the doggone minister. Now I say that to say the Reverend Jeremiah Wright is a black man in a pulpit, and although he's saying the truth and he's saying this stuff, he still got that spirit behind him. He got a black choir behind him. And the whole time they doing this stuff, the black choir is cheering, and the next thing you know, it invoked that tornado. And to let you know it was them, the white people didn't pick it up after it hit the CNN building. They kept doing it the next day. But they didn't report this. The next day they kept doing it, a hailstorm came through and tore up shit. Then they figured it out, we got to cool down on it. So they play it now, but they play it in so many segments. They don't play it
in a concentrated.
In a conference over and over.
Because when I saw the news and I saw the floods out in Ohio, man, that stuff was just tearing them up.
Now it's interesting because the time the hailstorm hit, CNN is also up here in Fox News. The same time the hailstorm hit in Atlanta the next day, the crane fell on the buildings down here in New York City and messed up some shit and killed some people. Same energy. So it's also saying that a lot of the power we got is now transferred to us. Now I'm going to go into this tomorrow because we got 2 cats when my mother, a couple of weeks before my mother passed, we started feeding 2 stray kittens in the backyard. And one called Tiger and one called Mesa. We started, and one had stripes. Tiger ended up getting sick and was emaciated and had a little pus on his side, and like he had gotten wounded by somebody, beat him or something. And we was like, and he was coming around and he was all drawn up and he's getting a skeleton. And so I said, well, I called Sister Kimberly up and I asked her, I said, ask the spirit world, can we save him? And she was like, no, I don't think you can save him. Just don't get too attached because he gonna go. So he's walking around all emaciated, eating the food, and then a week later, he comes back, totally healed, and big and so big. No, it was like a couple of days. He came back and he was huge and completely healed. And what had happened was, and there's a lot of stuff we got to study on cats because they got a lot of stuff in Egypt. They got a lot of books. You go to the Egyptian section, they got whole sections of books in the Egyptian history section on cats and stuff. And this cat, he went to the other realm and he might have passed on and another spirit came back and the same cat healed.
9 lives, they say.
9 lives. Well, check this shit out. He came back and all of a sudden we started seeing the cats. They hear one minute and they walk somewhere and they disappear. They can go in and out of dimension. That's why the Egyptians used them around the temples.
Which one of them represented the cat head? Which one of the
Bass,
right?
Sekhmet, Pashet. You see what I'm saying? Now check this out. They could go in and out of dimensions. Well, check this shit out. On December the 25th, which is a day of all, it's a day they chose it, but it's in the ancient world, it's All Messiah's Day. A cat in the San Diego Zoo or San Francisco Zoo supposedly had got out of the cage and killed somebody. Remember, a tiger. Got out of this thing. Now check this out. They spent the entire summer before that, and they spent almost a couple of $1 million fortifying the place, fixing the place, and yet this cat somehow jumped over the wall and they've been investigating it.
Ever since.
Ever since. They got 2 boys, one guy died and 2 boys survived, and they won't talk. They won't say. They've been trying to get these 2 guys to talk, and these guys won't tell them nothing. The ones that other 2 that got attacked was in the hospital. What really happened is these dimensions are open. What happened was the cat basically walked through a doorway through the wall, a gateway. He just walked through and appeared on the other side and started fucking people up. Now they know it, but they're not telling anybody. And then the 1st of February, Black History Month, one walked through the gate, walked through the wall in Hawaii. And the only reason why they didn't kill nobody, it was the zoo hadn't opened yet. and they was able to contain it and get it back inside of the So I'm trying to say our cats is doing the same thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
So my point here is, then this movie Jumpers come out, where you can jump from place to place.
So that.
Did you see it?
That. I heard about it.
Did you see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, it's a bad bootleg. It was out. It wasn't that good.
That's why I didn't get it.
They said around the country was a bad bootleg. It was out. But this movie where you can jump from place to place, and in one place they showed he was eating dinner on the Sphinx, on top of the Sphinx head, and he kept jumping to
Shit, it opened up with him on the Sphinx.
Right. So the point is, right. So my point here is, that's some shit that we getting ready to. That's just nothing but. All this stuff is nothing. The things we used to do, let me say, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years ago, that we just lost the senses. You know, people like psychic ability, that ain't nothing but like you got used to could breathe, you used to could see the future and stuff. That was a part of one of your senses.
Right.
Well, this thing here, this jumping thing, has got a lot to do with it, because I remember this. When I first started lecturing back in 2000, back in 92. In 1994, I met a sister named Atifa, and Atifa used to be a part of the Nation of Islam. Then she got into my tapes, and she was a nurse for Nina Simone. And she said, I'm taking your tapes to Nina Simone, because Nina Simone was vast conscious.
Yeah.
She even did a song called Damn Baller.
Spell on You.
Spell on You,
yeah.
Damn Baller.
Yeah.
And so she said, I'm taking the tapes of Nina Simone. She wanna see the tapes. And what was interesting about Atiba was in her late 40s then. That was 1994. And Atiba used to tell this story about when she was a little girl, she used to cough and disappear. So that's the same jumping in out of.
Yeah.
She said, and it got so amazing until people started coming around and it got too big. And I think the family must have asked the Lord or whatever to take this ability away, because these white folks was probably gonna get to the point whereas they was gonna come, and the next thing you know, she gonna be in some lab somewhere.
That's right. That's right.
Because this is the mystery of walking, doing this, these dimensions and stuff like that. So going through these dimensions, and so that was just a sneeze. She used to sneeze and disappear. So just like when you see the movie Jumpers, if she can harness that energy right way, she can reappear in fucking China. Now check this shit out. I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow. I'm glad I did it, because I gotta write it down, because I was in the Moore Science Temple and I was up on the Noble Drew Ali, and somebody asked me a question. They said, what were those pyramids around the world for? And I saw the vision, and I said, those was airports. I said, you would go in one pyramid in Egypt and end up in the next pyramid in Mexico. And that's how we got around the world. There was ancient airports. Now check this shit out. When I was telling them about this, it was the day after the Jumpers movie opened up, and I hadn't even seen the Jumpers movie. I had to go get that off of a bad DVD, and I said those were ancient airports, and that's how we used to travel around the planet.
And beyond. Shit.
And beyond. You see what I'm saying? So that's and it was the spirit world that showed me how this whole thing worked, and I said that makes most sense. Or why they got them, and not only they got them in, they got pyramids in every section of the world. There's a guy named Bob Breyer. He wrote a book called Egyptian Magic, and he got specials out, DVD specials, where he go around every part of the globe and show you pyramids. They even got pyramids up under the water in Japan.
Yeah, they all over. They had them out in Long Island, everywhere.
And then you talk about the Native American mounds.
Yeah.
You see, so it's some amazing shit.
A movie though, going back to the cat you were talking about, Golden Compass.
Golden Compass.
It had a lot of cat energy going on there too.
It had a lot of cat energy going on and stuff. Well, I asked this question too, since you brought that up. I asked the spirit world, well, what is it with this cat that was almost dead and came back healed in a couple of days? And I said, obviously, the other cat, Tiger, must have died in the spirit world. It's like, yes. I said, well, what spirit? I said, well, what spirit is in him now? You know what they said? That's part of your spirit in that cat now. And you remember the movie, The Golden Compass, where they had, each one had their little demons, and it was a part of their spirit and stuff like that. They asked this, and check this out. So we got another little cat, we call him Nephilim. Tiger is a taupe looking cat, like a coffee color with black stripes. The other cat is yellow like Sekhmet, golden. And he got hieroglyphics on his side. And what it was, there was some neighbors that moved next door. Remember, I think last time I was here, I was talking about some neighbors that the people across the street called the city on us, and it was some other people, and I said there were some neighbors that came, and these niggas was just messed up. Well, they had a cat, and when I saw the cat, I said, oh my God, that's the cat. I wanted a cat like that. It was golden and beautiful, had this hieroglyphics on the side. The cat started hanging out with our kittens. Well, our kittens were, this cat was an Indo cat, but he started hanging out with our kittens, because he was a kitten at the time. He started hanging out with our kittens, but our kittens, we never touch them. We give them their food, we never touch them. They say that if you touch them, you can domesticate them, and then when the winter comes, they be all fucked up because they can't survive. So our cats got the little kittens had a little bit of fleas. So this cat started hanging around our cats and caught the fleas, and the other people up and moved out of the house. And because the cat had fleas, they left the cat for us. They said, well, them niggas, they'll feed them. And what it was, that was the spirit world. Not only did they bring them people that are annoyed or neighbors next door, they brought those people there to give me that cat. Now, that particular cat acts just like I used to act when I was a child, all hypertensive, all hyper. All hyper. And it's interesting here because my queen, who didn't know me as a child, she said, that cat act just like you when you was a little boy. And I said, exactly. So come to find out, part of my spirit when I was a child is in that particular cat. So there's some mysteries with the cat. There's a book called Mysterious Magic. It's by DJ Conway. I'm going to call home tomorrow and get it so I can put the actual name of it on the actual book, on the lecture. It's a book called Mysterious and Magical Cat by DJ Conway. And that there's some stuff that's happening with that.
Yeah, because you always see them with witches, you know.
With witches.
With magical people.
With witches and all of that. Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
That's right. I thought you had some questions.
Yeah. Okay. We talked a little bit about Obama because we're dealing a little bit with the conspiracy right now.
Yeah.
Just recently, Malcolm X's anniversary of his death passed, and we noticed that Larry Davis was killed on that actual day.
Larry Davis
was the brother who was selling drugs for the police.
Yeah.
They came after him and he shot up the police.
Okay, right.
Knocked the brother down and all that kind of stuff.
That was in where? So, in Brooklyn? In Queens?
That was in the Bronx.
Oh, right.
It was the same day as Malcolm's death.
Right.
That, and then you also have, the dates, how they match up. I don't know if y'all know who Alvin Ailey is. That's a jazz singer. He did a lot of jazz on Voodoo. My queen did the research on this and found out that Sean Bell was killed on the same day he was. Now his hand was cut off and his penis cut off and thrown in the East River. What's the science behind the dates with, say, for instance, an older elder and a modern day elder? What's going on with that energy?
It's just a matter of. Well, it's synchronicity. There's certain things happen in doorways in time. Let me give you some other stuff that's going on. And I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, but I want to I'll do a little on the tape. Synchronicity. There's certain things happen in doorways in time. Let me give you some other stuff that's going on. And I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, but I want to I'll do a little on the tape. Panic now, what happens here is this is what started happening. When I started doing these magical experiments, they will come to him and give him information, especially the stars and stuff like that. So Jimi Hendrix, so he was listening to some music. Jimi Hendrix came back and said, after I passed, I continued to carry on my music and I fused my energy in with Prince. And although the music was a newer music,
I can see that.
you know, Prince borrowed all of his
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
He said, and when Prince got to the top of Warner Brothers when he made the movie, he said, I had a song called Purple Haze. He said, and continuing it, my purple reigned in the 80s. Purple Rain. So it was the rain is purple. This is the continuation of Jimi Hendrix. See what I'm saying? So Frankie Lyman came to him and told him, I died in 1968. The actual Jackson 5 came out in 1968. You know, they was founded in 1968. They made the song 69-70, I Want You Back. He said, I continued my energy through Michael Jackson. Frankie Lyman. You see what I'm saying? So, you see, so, these are actual, so my point here is there's all kind of synchronicity. So when you're talking about the whole killing thing. Now, take for instance, they got a documentary on the original 50 Cent, which was a stick-up kid here in New York. Very powerful person in a particular aspect. He'll stick you up. He robbed hundreds of people, but they say he was one of the nicest people you ever want to meet. You see what I'm saying? And was always laughing. You see, so he wasn't no brutal, you know, always mad. He was always a laughing
And
stuff.
he was a short dude.
Look, he had a Napoleon complex. Short, and that's when he overcompensated by sticking people up. The key here is when he died in August something of 1987. Whenever 50 Cent, the new 50 Cent, that heard about this legendary person and picked up his name, the other 50 Cent's power came, and all of a sudden, how did this rapper become one of the #1 rappers on the earth? It's all because he used the legendary energy. You see what I'm saying? And when he named himself that, he invoked that energy, and that entity started coming back and working with him.
That's happening
And
in
the
hip hop
new-
now with Rick Ross.
Yeah, and the new 50 Cent met with the original 50 Cent's family.
50 Cent's
with
family.
his daughter and all of them.
And they say secretly he didn't tell people that on the video because you can't discuss your financial thing.
Right,
But I
right.
think he broke her off some money. He's
Yeah.
taking care of her.
That's right.
And she said, they said, well, what do you think about all this? Because she never knew her father. She said, all I want is for the new 50 Cent to not abandon me and stay around.
And
Real
that's happening,
powerful
like I
shit.
said, with the
Well-
Rick Ross now, who was the big drug dealer who the CIA put on to bring crack into LA and all that kind of stuff. Now you got the #1 artist today is Rick Ross, a dude from Miami, talking about moving drugs. So again,
Right, so what happens
that
here
industry.
is you might have one person, he's involved in the underworld stuff, and that could only last so long on the earth before you burn yourself out or get killed. But it's still a energy behind it. What drives them to do this?
Right.
So once it leaves the body, it can channel itself in another energy if it's entertainment and the person goes to the top. Well, let me give you another story about all this shit. Let me show you something, a story, one of the most amazing stories. And when I broke this story, I broke it and I told the people in Chicago, I'm going to tell it tomorrow too. I'm going to tell it tonight and I'm going to tell it tomorrow. I'm going to tell you an amazing story. Whereas the ancestors is working with us. In 1976, around this time, down south, we get out of school. They don't give us no holidays. When I was growing, y'all had all the President Day. By the time I look up, you know, but then again, we get out June 1st and y'all, you know,
June 28th, yeah.
you see what I'm saying? Y'all go on, but y'all got all these holidays. They give us Christmas, they give us Thanksgiving, and they would give us, because it was the Bible Belt, they would give us Good Friday off. Okay. So that was an extra day, and you go into Saturday, so that's a vacation. Good Friday, which was just past week. Good Friday, 1976, was a brother named Milton Leggett. Now let me tell you what happened with Milton Leggett. You ever grew up with some people that was muscular
Yeah.
and they never lift weights? They were just born that way?
Eat everything you want.
Big bone.
And I'm talking about muscles,
Like that, yeah.
like a bodybuilder, and never looked. And this guy was the quintessential athlete. He's the person. When we was in junior high school, he the person you want to pick for your team, because he is a god. He gonna show off. Little short dude, built like whatever, never lift no weight, was born that way. The quintessential athlete. Good Friday, he goes swimming in an irrigation pond and drowns. Baffled us. Number one athlete, I was in 8th grade. I was in the, 8th grade, and he was one of my classmates. He drowns. Baffled me. We couldn't understand, how did Milton Lee get drowned? Nigga could swim, nigga do the quintessential athlete. Me and one of my boys went to even visit him in the funeral home. Okay, now check this remarkable story out. In August of that year, Sugar Ray Leonard goes to the Olympics. He announces that after the Olympics, he's going to retire, because he said because his hands, he was not built for boxing. He was just a master at it, but his hands was always in excruciating pain.
Yes.
And if he could just box, that would be fine, but you got to train to box. So he was in constant pain. So he said he was going to retire. So he wins the Olympic goals, he's the star of the Olympics and all that. Then he decides, well, I need some money. So let me just wait a minute, I'm going to go pro. All of a sudden, Sugar Ray Leonard's beat motherfuckers' ass. He's winning. And Sugar Ray Leonard, they say, is the only person that when you see him, he do his little flurry little thing he used to do. And you was thinking it was showmanship. They said those blows was the only kind of blows that would actually, when he do that stuff and you thinking he's just showing off, those blows, they say, was effective. They would actually be killing people. It would really be hitting them. Okay. He goes up against Tommy Hearns, and Tommy Hearns damn near knocked his eye out. But they say, that was in 1981, they say, but he had the ability to go into himself and come out with some flurry shit, and he knocked fucking Tommy Hearns out of the damn ring almost. See what I'm saying? Well, let me tell you this story. The man was going to retire after the Olympics. He became a great champion. Well, the story goes like this. There was 2 sisters that had 2 children, a set of children. They all had several children. One of the sisters had Sugar Ray Leonard. The other sister had Milton Leggett, the guy that drowned in the lake in Mullins, South Carolina 30 years ago this past Friday. He went into the lake, he didn't come out. Sugar Ray Leonard's grandmother is from Mullins, South Carolina. That's where I grew up. The other sister moved to Maryland. You see what I'm saying? Sugar Ray Leonard got out, and became the Sugar Ray Leonard. Milton Leggett knew that his cousin was going to the Olympics in the fall of that year, in August. So what he did, he went into that lake, and he didn't come out. So he could go to the Olympics. And he was the thing behind Sugar Ray Leonard that made him a champion when he would go in and come back out. That was his cousin, Milton Leggett. Wow. Milton Leggett. And I told it, and he came to me, he said, congratulations, you broke one of the stories of the century. That's some ancestral shit that we gotta tap into. Our ancestors are around, our cousins and all these niggas. Did you know these niggas used to do amazing feats? You know, man, shit, I done grew up with some niggas just, you know what I'm saying? Like a nigga named Bun, I used to say could break his backhand, he'd break his spinal cord in. And that's how we used to win dances, whipping motherfuckers' asses around the world. We knew some real deal niggas used to do all kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the point I'm trying to make here is, that's an amazing story. The same Sugar Ray Leonard. And the thing behind his success was his cousin that went into that lake and didn't come out because he had to get to the Olympics. Had to get to the Olympics. Now, Sugar Ray don't know nothing about this. But if I ever meet him and tell him this, I guarantee you something spiritual, he will be able to recognize it, because he said, I got to retire after the Olympics because I'm in excruciating pain. And for some reason after that, he boxed on up into the into the 90s.
Yeah.
And obviously, it wasn't his hands that was messed up. He had to quit for a while because of a retina. What Tommy Hearns did. Well, he knocked Tommy Hearns out, and they said they don't know how he beat him. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Is that's some spiritual stuff. So that's the whole synchronicity and all. But that's an amazing story. And I told that to one brother. And he tell you gonna tell that story? I say I'm gonna tell that story. I'm gonna tell it tomorrow too. You see some amazing stuff. Yeah. And all. And it goes on. We got some other ones too. We got some other ones too. You know, Joe Louis come and say he was behind Mike Tyson. And he just told Panic this the other day, say I was behind Mike Tyson. Mike, Joe Louis had a knockout punch too. And he people don't know that nigga ruled for that nigga fought for 20 years. Right. And check this out. He also said he helped Tiger Woods out, because remember Joe Louis was one of the first people on the PGA tour. Remember it was a golf thing. You can go see that specialist out now on Joe Louis. He said he also helped him out. So we got this force behind us.
Yeah.
So when I said about the Asa Hilliard thing, and Barack Obama brings his body back, the next thing you know, they got white women falling out in. They say he's a rock star. He's filling arenas and white women is falling out. And one of the gay reporters came just to see what was going on, and they was going up to white women and say, they said, I love him. Not like I love like He said, no, I'm in love with this motherfucker. And then the next thing you know, the reporter said, I must admit now, I'm an Obama fag.
Obama man.
Hey Bobby,
Yeah.
you mentioned Mike Tyson. Talk to us about how he was the greatest of all time, one of the greatest of all time besides Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And just fell to the bottom, man. What happened, man?
I think, me personally, I think that they had to get him. The only reason why he lost to Buster Douglas because Buster Douglas' mama died.
Right.
There you go.
That's
That
right.
whole thing.
That spirit was in it.
That spirit. But he was getting ready to come back up. He was gaining momentum, and he was gaining momentum since the 1990s, and they had to get him in prison. And I think when they got him in prison, they worked on him.
Yeah.
They can, they say, I got friends. They say he said, I be in the cell. Team of people come and get me out of the cell and shoot me in the arm, and I wake up back in my room 2 days later or whatever.
Yeah, because he came out bugged out after that.
He was never no good.
Stupid shit.
Was never no good. Now he had all his little problems going in, but the point I'm trying to make here, his boxing skills. Before he left, man, he was still undisputed. You see.
And 50 Cent, I think, bought his house, right?
Yeah. But he sold it.
So I think that they worked on him. I'll be honest with you, we don't even know if Mike Tyson even came out of prison. That might be a clone. Because I'm saying he went from that to a sideshow.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And he only, how many years he stayed in prison?
Was it 2.5, 3 years?
That ain't long enough. Hell, Muhammad Ali was exiled from boxing maybe 4 years and came back and was world champion. That don't mean nothing. You see what I'm saying? Look, like I said,
and his energy was different.
Different and all
because
But Tyson started dealing with the Nation of Islam.
Most of Tyson's fights was won before he even threw a punch.
Right.
Yeah.
He had an energy and aura of fear
right.
that you was crippled like, oh shit, this is going down.
Right.
And once Buster Douglas, because Buster was fighting, like you said, if the nigga dedicate a fight to his moms who just passed, he'll whip your ass.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Straight up.
And that's the same thing they used to say. That's the same, and I think it's a metaphysical thing. They used to say, I know down home in South Carolina, you beat that nigga ass, but do not go and try to beat his ass in his front yard. He will win.
Yeah.
Something about you in my fucking front yard. And I tried that. A nigga, man, I was scared of.
A white boy tried that when a brother
Went in my big ass nigga, came in the front yard with some bullshit, and he got his ass tore up.
Yeah, they got the brother, they just let him out on bail or whatever, but there was a brother, some white boys came up to his house starting some shit with his son.
Pushed his weight
Blew
back.
that crack over.
Talking about White, Mr. White.
Look, I messed around and talking shit to a girl who lived across the street from me. And went in her front yard and she threw a punch. And I dropped, my legs went from up under me. This motherfucker hit me side my head. And my knees just went whoa. And I just buckled. And I was just in a pile of dirt. I didn't even see the shit coming. She bailed off that damn porch and bust me in the damn head, and my shit just, fucked me up. The only time I ever fought a girl, the second time I go fight a girl at one of my friend Frank Stackhouse, who daddy was riding around on a homemade motorcycle. These girls was beating his ass, and I got pissed because I didn't like the fact that these girls was beating my best friend ass. So I jumped in and jumped on the girl and got on top of her, and the other sister took a mop and she would hit me in the head, and the other girl would flip me over and beat my ass, and then I would get up, overpower, do it again. The other girl took the mop and beat me in the head, and the other girl flipped me over and beat my ass and stuff. And all I know, I was laid out on the damn ground like this. I only got in a fight with a girl 3 times. The other time, this girl was swinging these licks so wild till I couldn't see nothing. She was going, that's some shit. You might laugh at the girls doing it, but if you ever got in a fight with a girl and she doing that shit, some unauthorized shit, all I know this girl was doing and I couldn't see shit. And all I know is my ears, she was going so my ears start getting hot. And she blinded me in front of a whole schoolhouse of people.
But Bobby, remember what you was just talking about Sugar Ray with the do-do-do-do?
With the flurry shit.
You see what I'm saying?
And I know, and that's the only time when I was young, I used to get in a lot of fights. And those times I got in a lot of fights, and I beat a lot of major dudes. I got in that fight, I got in the 3 times I got in the fight with girls, I got killed. But that one, when I walked across her front yard and she hit me in the goddamn head, and it was one of them, all I know is my feet came from up under me, and I just was laying in the dirt.
Well, growing up, I was smart enough not to fight with her, man. I ain't never had a fight with a woman. But
don't do that, and don't ever fight no faggot. It's a whole nother other shit.
A whole nother shit going on.
Oh yeah?
Because you thinking feminine, and this nigga is beating your ass like a
man
nigga.
passed me on the train one time. I was like, "The fuck is your problem, son?" And the nigga, he switched gears, and the nigga came out. And I said, "You know what? Let me hold on, because if I get my ass whipped by a faggot, that's worse."
And I'm gonna be honest with you too. You better pause when you come to a dyke too. Because here go again, you thinking woman.
Right.
Coming like a man, boy.
She coming like a man.
Yeah, it is.
She coming with some tactics and shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. Some shit.
Yeah.
That's some metaphysical stuff going on.
I fell back.
But I do know I've seen some faggots fuck some niggas up. You see what I'm saying? Fuck some niggas up and stuff, and the niggas didn't know what hit them.
Yeah, they got a gang of them they talked about last week running around as a team, just fucking people up.
There was a guy that could play ball like hell. He was a faggot.
Yeah.
Nobody would check him because he backed up with his ass out. Score every time.